Hey y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. We are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. And they have been a lot in this past week. My goodness. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this hot tea. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
What's going on, Claudia? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And please welcome someone who's feeling really good tonight. He already told us what kind of show it's going to be. Please welcome Funky Dineva. What's up, Q?
Hello, soulmates, and all you wide bite holes out there that's been shopping, getting ready for Christmas and Thanksgiving, trying to get some pie shells, going in and put your order in that honey baked ham, trying to get your collard greens and stuff together for Thursday. How y'all hoes doing?
I love how you insult your fans, but they love it though. They love the abuse. They love it. I see you on your page, I was calling them what you hoes eating for lunch today, Burger King, or you be coming for them all the time. All right, what y'all doing? What y'all up to? Al, you out of town? Where you at?
Nope, I'm finally back in LA. Of course, you know, if you look on my IG stories, I was teaching from virtually. I was teaching from Los Angeles today, and we had a guest speaker. We had the incredible Jade Mathis, who is Judge Mathis's daughter, who shares her journey and her fight with depression and how she's been able to turn that failure into success. It was so inspirational. So I want to give a shout out not only to Jade Mathis for sharing that with the class, but I want to give a shout out to her dad, who has supported her 110%, everything from withdrawing from undergrad.
Failing. Hold on, Jay, he telling all your business. He said failing. He said failing. 40
and hold on. She did fail. She's very open with it, to not getting into any of her law schools, but one, to not passing a bar 5 times, 6 times and taking it, but never giving up and continuing to push forward. And look where she is now. She's now a social justice lawyer, a civil rights lawyer. She's an advocate for the NIH for mental health. It's awesome.
I like her daddy too. He got a production company. Hey, Judge Mathis.
That's right.
And Q, you feeling good? What you eating? What you drinking today? Q, what you?
So you know, I'm.
She already introduced Funky.
The end of the year warrants you not unlocking your better self, because you have to give yourself a reason to have New Year's resolutions. So I'm probably not going to be unlocking myself, my better self, between now and New Year's, because it don't even make no sense to whoever I've been all this year. These last 2 months ain't gonna change that. So with that being said, I got about this much vodka in here, this much Malibu pineapple, 2 pieces of ice, and a squeeze of orange juice.
All right. Well, that sounds good. I'm not drinking. I'm not going to fast. Trying to lose this weight. I had a great time this week at the Margarita Ball, raised money. We collected a ton of toys for kids, and it was a lot of fun. There's about 5,000 people there in Dallas, and my crew was looking quite beautiful. All right, let's get into
Hold on, Claudia. Can we point out, I didn't mean to cut you. Before we start, one thing, I just want to point out how Al is a crafty stunt queen, because Al got on his gym clothes and thought he was just going to tie a sweater around it and show up to work.
I got to be a stunt queen.
I see you, Al. I see you trying to give Jake.
Claudia, I see it's going to be this type of show tonight. First of all,
I done warned y'all in the beginning.
I just finished my office hours. Thank you, sir.
At LA Fitness.
Wait, Al. Now that you said that, that looks like a very body revealing shirt. Can you take that top shirt off? Can we see the shirt? Let's see what you're working with over there.
Boy, come on now, Claudia.
You said boy.
I'm sorry.
I identify as a woman.
A cis woman or a regular woman?
A regular one. A regular one. All right. We have an update on the recent lawsuit that was filed against Diddy by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. She lit that ass up. Just one day after the lawsuit hit the media waves, Cassie reached a settlement after accusing Diddy of rape, sex trafficking, and physical abuse. Were you guys surprised to hear that a settlement was reached so quickly, Al?
Absolutely not. You know, I said it here first on TGIF that he needs to settle that, and he needs to settle it quickly. The way that lawsuit, and it's a complaint, let's be clear. She got this before the lawsuit got there. It's the complaint. The way that lawyer structured that complaint, it was just full of a ton of smoking guns that we know would be detrimental to the demise of Diddy, the hip hop mogul. She not only mentioned rape and physical abuse, but she inferred sex trafficking, and sex trafficking matched with the fact that she had to hire male prostitutes with big black penises. This was just damaging.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry, I got distracted. You said big. Sort of funky, I think.
And so, you know, what happens in this case when you do something like this, you open up the treasure chest of everybody else to chime in. And was what we saw in the 12 hours before the settlement. Azalea Banks leaned in, Kamora Lee Simmons leaned in, 50 Cent leaned in, The Game leaned in about being seduced by Diddy. Naomi and Janet withdrew his pictures from their timeline. Young Jock, Aubrey O'Day, Fabulous, and then the discussion of Usher on the drink tanks, and all of that just started to unveil. And we knew, and we know now, that he doesn't want any of that out there. So to keep this hush as quick as he can, he settled. And for me, that was the smartest thing that he could do at this time.
Hold up, you said The Game. I didn't hear that. What happened with The Game? The Game is good looking. So what happened with him?
So The Game, they pulled up his old interviews where he said that Diddy tried to seduce him.
Diddy trying to take everybody fine. Q, what you think about?
I'm finna file my complaint because that one time I was on the subway, he was across the street, and I just felt the energy molesting me. I did. The energy was sex trafficking me from the subway, child. So I'm gonna go file my complaint. And then I'm gonna tell you something, bitch. Cassie had me looking over my life, trying to figure out who all the hell I could extort. But child, I was being taken advantage of Negroes who work in retail and customer service. So I don't think I'm gonna get as much as Cassie. But to answer your question, Claudia, am I surprised that the lawsuit settled so quickly? I'm not surprised it settled, but I'm damn sure surprised it settled quickly. Y'all know my motto, and I got this from one of the girls that used to mess with Big Meech, and she said every time Meech cheated on her and came back, she made him buy her an apartment building. And she was like, you gonna pay me for my pain. Y'all actually know who this woman is. I'm not gonna say her name on the air. I'll tell Al and Claudia who this woman is who taught me that saying, pay me for my pain. But it really rings true. And I will say this in Cassie's defense. For a lot of people who are screaming, this was just a money grab and where's the criminal charges and it's all about money. You're absolutely right. It's all about money. And here is why. If I've been raped, taken advantage of, beaten, whether he is in jail or not, I still have to carry that trauma. So you know what? I might as well carry that trauma in comfort. I might as well carry, whether he's in jail or not, I have to carry that trauma. I might as well carry it $30 million or more richer. So shouts out to Cassie. And honestly and truthfully, shouts out to Diddy too for doing good business and making it go away.
So, you know, I'm sick of seeing these little male rapper podcast guys that came out and they was just dragging Cassie like what was she supposed to do? And a lot of them I know were acting like they understood what it was. They did not understand it was a civil case. It was never any threat of him going to jail for this because of the laws. So she was going for a civil. I think she did it perfectly. Yes. She got enough in that complaint where we all are raising eyebrows and other people now have the confidence to come forward after her. Because like Al said, look at all the people that came out afterwards. And she gets her money. And I think she got more than $30 million. Media takeout, absolutely. Well, they are saying the way it went that fast, I think when it got that much steam, when it got on the internet, I think her lawyer was like, hold up, we want to adjust that amount. Yeah. And I think Diddy had no choice because what she revealed was the tip of the iceberg was what usually happens in lawsuits. Imagine the nasty, disgusting stuff she had proof of that she was ready to lay on out for all of our nosy asses to consume.
Right. And then I just wanted to add this, Claudia, really quickly. Everyone is talking about why did she do it civilly if she thought and believed that the main, pain behind all of this was the rape and sexual assault. You do it civilly so you can get paid, everybody. And she knew that if she did it civilly, she could push this to the point where it could get settled, where if she made a criminal charge, she run the risk of him being legally implicated, which does that mean she gets her money quicker this way? Or would she get her money quicker in the criminal way? And she deserved
it. She signed a 10-album deal when she first signed with him. And how many albums did we get from Cassie?
A half for one.
Exactly.
Thank goodness.
I have a philosophical question, and Al and Claudia, y'all don't have to answer it, but soulmates, I want y'all to ponder on this. let's consider all things constant, you live to be 80 years old. Is 10 years of pain and strife in your life worth being set for the rest of your life to the tune of $30 million?
I don't know.
I'd like to answer this on your half, Q. Just looking at you, I would say, yeah, because there was a portion of your life which was a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of pain. And look how that pain has turned into success for you. Look how those failures have turned into success for you. Now you're an old rich white lady. You decide when you want to get out of bed. You eat what you want to eat. You want crab. You want steak. You want fish. Do and did. And if you want a new car, you can go down there with your good credit and you can get it. You didn't think that was possible 10 years ago.
I do, but my situation is a little different. I make no qualms about it. Mine was, substance abuse. It wasn't, rape and being beat, which I don't know that I would have been able to endure. But, hopefully when Cassie looks across her life, this will just be a blur in her life and not define her life. But I definitely think, the payout feels commensurate. I'm just saying. Claudia, you're the woman. You speak on it.
I've been through some of the stuff, not to the extent of this and by some mogul, but, I will say when you're a victim of for real sexual abuse, assault, and rape, I was jumpy for years. Like if someone came up behind me, I would do that. I would jump. And if you've ever been hit or beat up by a man before, it took a long time for me to get past that. Will money make it better? You feel good at times, but then there will be times when you're by yourself and you reflect upon something. I remember watching a movie and getting triggered and getting into deep depressions from now every once in a while and not being able to explain why I'm crying or why I feel like I want to drive off the side of this mountain. It depends on you. Yeah, money can make a lot of things feel better on the surface. But until you do some kind of work, you still have to deal with those demons and those nightmares when you're by yourself. I will say that. And I think that she has been through a lot. I think she was naive and young when she got with him, and she probably feels guilty for allowing it.
So let's hit a few of these comments, Claudia, before you move on. Kimberly said, no, not for 30 million, 130 million. Yes. Jermaine Tart says, nope, you can't buy your mental back. What happens when the nervous system breaks down, pull up on you. And Jason Edmonds said, money and comfort can't fix a broken spirit. How many miserable millionaires are there out there?
Most of the millionaires that I know are pretty miserable when you really get to talk to them one-on-one. A lot of them are, and a lot of them have substance abuse problems and are very depressed and narcissistic, to say the least. And the things that satisfy them are just next level. And so that you can't keep that up. Yeah. You cannot nothing gets them excited anymore. So it's like, all right, let me rape my girlfriend and live stream it for the Illuminati to watch. Okay, now I got to up that to get my rocks off because the regular stuff don't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. I'll stay in this mid-range here. This mid-range.
Give me mid-level pain, mid-level payout. I'm good.
Exactly. All right, before we move on, did you guys read any of the gruesome details that were documented in Cassie's lawsuit?
And did, especially the part when she said he'd be like, grab that big black dick. I read that part when he would be masturbating and telling her to grab that big. It was just something like, I know she got them tapes, and I would do anything to see Diddy somewhere in a corner talking about grab that big black. I just would love to see it.
And they said he wanted her to wear white nail polish so there's the contrast between the dick and the nails. He want them white nails to be like seen like.
So what do you think his interest was, the nails or the dick?
Read the excerpt.
Why you think he paid all that money so quickly? At this point, it ain't a big deal to be gay. Like, just come out if you are. Who cares? Bisexual, gay, whatever. Like, now is the best time in history to come out. Diddy, Brother Love.
But read that excerpt, Claudia, because that excerpt is sexy.
Which one?
The one that's in the prompter.
Oh, let me look over here.
In the prompter, girl, not the comments. The prompter.
Okay. Well, here's an excerpt from the number 84 in the lawsuit. Miss Ventura was eventually instructed to use websites and escort services to find male sex workers to participate in the freak-offs. They call them freak-offs. Mr. Combs told Miss Ventura to search for large black penises on the website. I would ask what your thoughts on this, but Funky already said what his thoughts are. Al, what do you think about the big black?
Listen, this is giving me. First of all, this right here is what got her to settlement so quickly, right? Let's just be honest. This is her biggest smoking gun. It's giving me very much Dwight Howard tease. And I think you're right. What's the big deal? I think Dwight Howard has finally come to terms with it. And I think Diddy's brand is big enough and soiled enough at this point that he too could share. Doesn't necessarily have to be that he's gay, but there could be some erotica fantasies that has kind of plagued him. And he should probably check into some type of rehab in order to address it. Now, this is the issue. And this is just me being me. Now, I really need to know, if he don't, then you really have to explain why a straight man who is dating a beautiful young girl, Cassie, is hiring black men with big penises to smut her out every night.
The power dynamic. And I know everybody wants to make the thing about him being gay in the penis. I'll be vulnerable right here, and I'll be very honest with you. When having sex, part of my role play and part of how I get my rocks off, honestly, is the whole power dynamic thing, domination thing. I love playing. Y'all know I'm on this liquor. I love playing roles where there is a huge defined power gap. Student, principal, CEO, intern, neighbor, older neighbor, next door neighbor. Like, I love.
So prostitute, where's the power dynamic there? Prostitute?
Because you're my girl and I'm making you take these big burly men. That, you know what I'm saying? The power dynamic of it all. I'm watching you being dominated. I'm just assuming. I don't know. But I'm just assuming. Nevertheless, we'll never know. We'll never know.
And a lot of girls have spoken. I mean, there allegedly have been chatter about whether or not Diddy is endowed or not. And, so sometimes if you're lacking or whatever, you want to see that. And the prostitutes with the big black peens, they can create a level of uncomfortability and pain that he just probably maybe allegedly can't do.
And again, it feeds that domination thread. But nevertheless, Chad, we got to go to break before I get on here and tell all my business.
Yeah, well, we'll put a pin in this and we'll come back after the break because I want to hear more about this. Coming up next, find out why Paula Jai Parker is in the hot seat. And later, we have your cheap fact of the day. Stick around. Hit that like button. Take that.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
What do you think the most bougie state in the United States is?
Is this black bougie or white bougie? There's a difference.
McMillan and Morrow.
I'm not black bougie. I'm trying to be.
You're just bougie.
I'm just too poor.
Every Thursday.
Listen, if I had more money, I would be so bougie.
You black bougie adjacent. All your friends are black bougie.
Exactly.
On Fox Soul.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm living vicariously through them.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Welcome back to TGIF Soulmates. Hit that like button. You guys are real funny with those comments. Funky, you have to go back and read them. They talk about surviving Funky Dineva.
I get permission from everybody I act out my fantasies with, honey. There'll be nobody suing me. And quite if they wanted to, they could now because I'm already rich.
Oh, all right. All right. Actress Paula Jai Parker is receiving backlash after tweeting some insensitive remarks regarding Cassie's former lawsuit against Diddy. In one tweet, she wrote, "I'm sorry, but I don't get it. I used to be 19 and I was in the industry and I was quite capable of saying no." And she added, "I'm trying so hard to see the victim here, but do sex slaves usually get to pick their sex partners in 5-star hotels?" Do you think Paula was out of line for those tweets?
She absolutely was out of line, and you was once 19, but you was never as cute as Cassie, and I hope that you were sending those tweets from a dentist's office because the bottom of your mouth looked like a picket fence with all them gaps in between your teeth. And please, let's not forget, baby, you was sex trafficked too. The difference is you was in a La Quinta Inn with that broke-ass, crack-smoking looking Negro allegedly called your husband on that TV show. You was smutted out by Carlos King and looking just as washed up at 40 as you was with 19 with the messed up teeth. It's how dare you even do something like this. Paula need to go to Dr. Heavenly Jai Parker. And the only thing we ever know you for is you ain't got the lie, Craig, and the rest of your life has been one big lie. This is tacky. This is insensitive. You are wrong. And if no other level than being a female, you should have kept your gap tooth, gingivitis, having mouth closed.
Al?
I don't think there's anything else that should be said at this point.
Except go on to the next thing, Claudia.
Yeah, go on to the next thing.
I like her and I'm friends with her. I can't believe she said this, Paula.
Man,
Come on,
ain't
Paula.
friends with her no more.
You messed up all my Paula. I'm gonna call you Paula because this is not it right here. You know this industry is shady as hell, and you know what they do to women out in that city. I was there for 1 week where they started pulling out trays of cocaine, and if I was a weaker-willed woman, I could have been pulled into that just as easily. Like you know what they do out there in Hollywood. You know they lock the doors on auditions. You know certain Black directors. I want to say his name so bad. Will lock the door on your audition and to ask you to take off a piece of clothing. You know this. You know the same people I know. You know this, and I'm gonna call you one-on-one. We can talk about this, but we can't do this. We cannot do this and diminish someone else's pain like this. I'm
gonna forward you too when you call her. I'm gonna forward you Dr. Heavenly number.
You know what?
And so you could give it to her while you on the line with her because it starts from right here from her ear. And it go all the way to this ear. It's a whole bunch of space. And I know it's probably best to talk to her over the phone because when food get down in there, it get the stinking.
Oh,
it get the
Paula, this ain't me. This is
and so that's probably why she was on that show about the R&B actresses, the gossip actresses, because when she go to the audition, the people could smell it at the table. And they said, baby, we can't have her on the set for 3 months. Giving porta party at the state fair, messing up the morale on the set. And then, if they on the set for 12 hours and they give them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's just 3 times a day that their food gonna get caught in between them gaps and just rot. And then some of the movies require that she do sex scenes with people and stuff, and it's just a mess. But I'm going to let Paula live with a little bit of life that she came to give, and we're going to switch gears in this case. In the case of Breonna Taylor, the officer charged with violating her civil rights may go scot-free after the judge declared a mistrial. According to reports, the 12-member jury could not reach a unanimous decision, which resulted in the mistrial. Al, are you surprised?
Unfortunately, we live in America and we're not surprised. But what's my favorite saying? Where is the outrage? We can still be outraged. We can still be upset. Where in the freak is the outrage? Because it's a mistrial because they said that the jury could not decide definitively if it was excessive force. Now, let me ask this one simple question, jury members and lawyers and judges. How can you decide if it's how can you say that it's not excessive force when you're at the wrong freaking house? You're at the wrong freaking house. If you're at the wrong freaking house and you're shooting at the door, and you're knocking it in, it's excessive. Where am I missing? What am I missing? Why is it that we always get the short end of the stick when it comes to the criminal system? Why is it that they are allowed to create and choose a mostly white jury member because they know that they only need one to not agree to get a hung jury and get a mistrial? Why is it in 2023 we are still unsafe in our own freaking homes under the guise that it was not excessive force? It's excessive force because you're at the wrong house. It's excessive force because one of the 15 cops there shot 15 times into the house. It's excessive force because then after that, you blindly unloaded into the entire building. Help me out, Funky, because right now I'm hotter than a boiled tea kettle pot.
You know, I in this moment, I can't help you out because you said everything, and I refuse to just allow this world to take me back mentally to the space that we were in during George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Donald Trump being in office, the tiki torches, the shooting in the grocery store. I mentally and emotionally cannot go back to that place. Black people, all I can offer you to give you some type of peace and solace in this situation is that we have to understand that we might not have won this battle in the physical realm, but trust and believe it is already taken care of in the spiritual realm. Claudia, what are your thoughts?
Paula Jai Parker called my phone and knocked me offline, so I missed it. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
we're talking about
the next thing.
On to the next thing.
All right. Angel Reese has been trending on social media after it was reported that she was benched for unknown reasons. LSU's head coach Kim Mulkey somewhat addressed the situation during a press conference and stated, "You want me to explain why? It's very obvious. Angel was not in uniform. Angel is part of the basketball team, and we hope to see her sooner rather than later." What do y'all think is going on here, Al?
Y'all, don't get me pissed off again because I'm already pissed off. This pisses me the heck off. How do you, the university, now, there's responsibility on both sides of the aisle, and I will agree with that. But how do you, as a university who has made so much damn money off of this one black female, she's resuscitated your entire basketball program, if not your university program as a whole, from how much she has been in the media. This is the only woman. She's the most prominent female basketball player in the NCAA with the NIL deals. She makes close to $1 million, which is more than most NBA players. How do you let this young lady not get her grades in to the minimum of a 2.0? Why don't you have resources around her, helping her, tutoring her, making sure she gets her homework assignments done? I just don't get it. And to the young lady, you have some responsibility too. Don't let this country fool you, and don't let this media fool you. They will blow you up. They will support you and make you feel like a queen, like you can't be touched, only to drag you down. And if this is not an example and a wake-up call, sweetheart, then you're going to have to figure it out, because they have rules. The majority have rules, and they're going to always follow the rules because they're going to always protect themselves. They don't really care how much money you actually brought in, and they don't care that you're the most prominent female basketball player if you're not following their rules. Get it together, Angel Reese. Whatever reason it is that you're off that team, get back on it and do it ASAP. Because this right here, from what we hear allegedly, is because you don't have a 2.0. Shame on you, coach. Shame on you, university. Shame on you, Angel.
G Mutt Q 2001 said her grades are bad, so she can't play. Her mouth wasn't keeping up with her grades. That's bull. She needs to improve her grades. Funky, what do you think?
I'm going to do you one better. And I know a lot of people may not agree. We're not going to pretend like Angel Reese is in college because she wants to get a degree and go be a marketing professional in Manhattan somewhere. She's in college like many other athletes because college is a means to professional sports. Unpopular opinion, for as much as she's done for that college and as much attention as she's brought to that team, like Al has brought out, why hasn't the good old boys club gotten behind her, the provost and everybody else, and just went in the system and changed the grades and make sure that she was eligible for PR reasons? I mean, you do it for everybody damn else. I remember in high school, I went to Carroll City Senior High School. We in Miami, our high schools in Miami, we produced the most number of NFL players of any city. I remember being a senior in high school and boys popping up with new cars, boys who were single moms that was broke, dirty, dusty, and musty ever since I'd known them since middle school, and senior year popping up with brand new vehicles with rims and speaker systems. And you know how they did it? They did it through the alumni associations and stuff. They bought these boys' cars to sway them into coming to school. Things happen in the background all the time with the alumni club, the players club, and all these different things. I'm just questioning, why didn't somebody go in the system and change her grades or do what they did when I was in college? Made all the athletes take physical education as a major, and you literally just had to show up to get good grades.
I'm going to say two things about this. 1,000%, if it was a white quarterback of some football team of a big Division I college, we would have never heard about this incident at all. It would have gone away. Some girl would have been taking the test for him. Or, like you said, they would have gone on the computer and made it right. We would have never heard about this. Now, the attention on women's sports is very, very new. I'll say the last 2 years, it's been getting some kind of attention is when it comes to collegiate. And we won't even get into the WNBA. We really didn't hear much about it until Brittany Griner got hemmed up in Russia. Now people want to care about it, but no one cared. Nobody cared. So it's new. So I don't think they've gotten around to treating the women like they treat the boys just yet. But when they see the pockets being affected, they may. But now, Angel, the responsibility also lies on you. You are an adult. You're not a child. And girlfriend, we are rooting for you. Like how Tyra Banks said, we are all rooting for you. So with that being said, you know the man's going to be looking at you extra, 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 extra. So don't give them anything to criticize you about. Don't let them say you're just a dumb jock, because you're not. And don't get so comfortable with the other deals. Like, if you're going to go through the college process, go through the college process and keep your grades above it. A 2.0 girl that's not hard to get. Come
Claudia,
on.
random.
I'll help you out with that.
Random fact, random trivia, useless information that nobody can use. I just spoke about my school and number of football players we produce. We also produced that model. Tiffany Richardson, who Tyra said, we're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. She's actually my classmate. We graduated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we went to school together. Yeah. Fun fact, that useless information nobody can use. Shouts out to Tiffany Richardson, but we went to high school together.
Well, again, no one would know about this if it was a white quarterback on some football team. No one. So, yeah, there's that. All right, coming up next, we have your Tea Fact of the Day. And later, Pardi responds to Megan Thee Stallion's diss track. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
What do you think the most bougie state in the United States is?
This is black bougie or white bougie? There's a difference.
McMillan and Morrow.
I'm not black bougie. I'm China.
You just bougie.
I'm just too poor.
Every Thursday.
Listen, if I had more money, I would be so bougie.
You black bougie adjacent. All your friends are black bougie.
Exactly.
On Fox Soul.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm living vicariously through them.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
TGIF.
Lil Wayne was not pleased with the reveal of his wax figure. He tweeted, "Sorry, Wax Museum, but that bleep ain't me."
Live and interactive.
Brittany T said, "That ain't Lil Weezy, that's Lil Asthma."
Hold on, Claudia. You got to see what Poppy said. Hell, the wax figure looks cleaner and better than the real Lil Wayne.
Serving up all the tea.
You so messy, Q. You are.
Join the chat on Fox Soul.
I don't make the comments. I just read them, honey.
That's true.
God.
Hollywood don't like me.
Yeah, that's who had you.
Welcome back to TGIF. Hey, y'all, real quick before we get into the stories. I know Paula Jai is gonna be blowing my phone up right now, and I'm gonna catch a stray because of Q. But you know that happens on the show. I just want to say, have y'all gotten blocked from anyone? I don't remember me going in on Shannon Sharp, but I went to go to his page and he blocked. Shay blocked me, y'all. I thought I said nice things about him.
What you said about? I think the only story that we ever did about him was the makeup, but that was more of a read on the makeup art. Oh no, you know what? We did do the story about him being with Hollywood, the guy that outed that other football player. But did you say anything negative?
No, because I love how opinionated. I said I like a guy that's like alpha like that.
Wasn't Al trying to set you up with Shannon Sharp?
Yes, I said, Claudia, would you date Shannon Sharp?
But Claudia,
she said he's got a nice body. She said no. She said he's got a nice body, but
he's vocal. Well, Shannon Sharp, if you listening. Can I bring him on the show? He probably would say no, huh?
Well, Claudia, catch this tea, honey. Production, put the camera on me, baby. I'm not blocked, honey.
So you're not blocked, but I am. Al, are you blocked?
I'm not blocked.
Maybe you don't like your can.
Shannon Sharp. Okay.
Hollywood, text me. I want to get dressed up and sit on the sideline with you and Uncle Shay Shay. I got money. I can buy my outfit and my
I interviewed Hollywood before, so maybe he be been in his ear telling him not to, be cool with me.
I told him to be cool with me, honey, because I'm still on the line.
See, you're making it worse. All right, whatever. We can all agree that social media tends to resurface some of the most random facts in pop culture history. So it's only fair that we unpack those facts. I can't believe he really blocked me. In our T fact of the day. So wait, stop. You're making it worse. They say he don't like my kind. Okay. Anyways, do y'all remember the beef between Michael Jackson and Eminem? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember it real time, but I know about it, but I don't remember it real time.
Well, he just rapped about it. He put it in one of his songs.
Gotcha.
Apparently, the king of pop wasn't too fond of Eminem's single "Just Lose It," in which the rapper referenced Jackson's child molestation trial, plastic surgery, and an unfortunate incident in 1984. Remember when his hair caught on fire during the Pepsi commercial? Well, here's the real gag. 3 years after the release of Eminem's single, Michael, in partnership with Sony and ATV's Famous Music, this is how you get someone, bought the rapper's catalog for $370 million. So every time it plays, Michael was just like, cha-ching. What are your thoughts on this, T? Al, what you think?
Hey, like you said, this is how you get even, Claudia. But let me tell you how you're really good even. You really get even because when you sell it back to Sony, you sell it for $800 million, close to $1 billion. So what an investment was that for Michael Jackson in investing in his own hurt feelings.
That's right. Q, what do you think?
Once again, guys, and the old lady sitting under the tree, it holds true. Pay me for my pain. This is it right here. I mean, this bitch, I own you. You thought you were doing me, but bitch, I did you. Thank you.
I love the pettiness of Michael Jackson, but I will say this. I actually am a fan of Eminem too. Like, I think he's one of the most clever writers out there. I think he's super clever. But on this incident, MJ out-clevered him. We got some comments, Q.
Yeah, we got so Poppy said Eminem was disrespectful and Michael got ownership of his masters. Monique Anderson said nobody wants to get in the beef with Eminem. He'll make a diss track. And Diddy said Michael is a petty Virgo like me. And Lacey B said Michael did a rich clapback. And that's, you know what? Granted, Claudia, all of us, me, you, and Al combined, can't do what Michael did. But I do want the world to move. Instead of us clapping back on live and beating people outside and fighting them, like, let's clap back on paper. Let's clap back at the bank. This is how you do it.
I love a rich woman clapback. I'm not even gonna say white because it's just a rich woman, a rich clapback where you just go, oh, okay, I got something for you.
And then you just sit back, Claudia, like you're not boisterous.
No.
You just go to Neiman's Cafe and eat like it's just a normal Tuesday with the girls. You don't make no announcement. But you know that bitch is home somewhere in the fetal position crying.
So, you know what? Sometimes you get in a position where you can actually stop something, or, someone comes to you and asks about a reference. Hey, what do you think about this person? Giving them a show or working on this or working with you on this project. And you'd be like, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Or, they're talented, but I don't think they're a good fit for this
different direction
project. If full transparency here. If let me serve up my cup real quick.
All right, let's get back.
No, hold on, we ain't getting back. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a couple hoes y'all know on this internet, and I've said this before in the past. And production, put it on the one shot of me. Okay. I've said this in the past, and for those who can't catch it, I may not be able to get you in, but I can damn sure keep you out. Catch. I might not be able to get you in, but I can damn sure keep you out.
Let's get back to some more topics. Enjoy your closet. Thanksgiving is quickly approaching. Michelle Williams.
The jokes just write themselves. They just freaking write.
You think I took some of your edibles? All right. Michelle Williams is dishing out some free advice on how to prepare your dishes. Check out this tweet. Pecans don't go on red velvet cake. Marshmallows don't go on the candied yam / sweet potato. Yes, they do. Chopped eggs don't go in the cornbread dressing. Not a lot of bananas in the banana pudding. Eggs don't need to be in mac and cheese. All right, what are your thoughts on this? And is there anything else she should add to the list? Q, I know you cook somewhat.
Yeah, I do. So you know what? I agree with her on everything except the pecans on the red velvet cake. And Al, I hope you back me up on this being from horse pasture. Now, the pecans are definitely optional, but I'm happy that they're not a no-go. They're optional. I like it either way. And soulmates, y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all prefer pecans or not. Like I said, I can go both ways, but I get a little extra excited when I see the pecans on the red velvet. Al, what's your take on the list?
No, I agree with the pecans for sure. Actually, I if we can run back the list, I think she missed a lot. I need pecans on my red velvet cake. I love the marshmallows on my yams at the top. It gives it flavor. And I like bananas in my banana pudding along with, I do like extra cookie though. So that little extra cookie in there, I think she missed it. But then again, being from Horse Pasture, Virginia, Q, like you said, we just simply don't take advice or cooking advice from a 5'7" tall girl who weighs 115 pounds. We just don't do it. That lets you know that she does not eat and she don't know what's really popping in the kitchen because she ain't trying it. So maybe in her sphere, not having all that stuff works for her, but definitely not for me. And an egg, a good egg, you only need one, and that mac and cheese keeps that consistency, and I love that. So I don't know what Michelle Williams is thinking. Well, at least she got covered and it went viral for her, though.
And I don't want to jump you, Claudia, but sis, I know I just did. You don't even qualify to speak on this, Claudia. So
I can cook.
You was raised in Claudia. You was raised in an Italian household. You ate rigatoni and angel hair pasta.
Wait. Let's clear this up right now. My mother is white and from Italy, and she really can't cook. Sorry, Mom. I got gypped when it comes. Wait, can I say that word? Is that offensive now?
Not on our show, it ain't.
Okay, I got gypped when it comes to that. But all her relatives can cook. But I only see them like every 4 or 5 years. I need to clear this up, y'all, because this keeps coming up. And you are one of the main ones trying to push the narrative that your girl can't cook. Al has been in my house. I can cook. Anyways, listen. I was raised with my black side though. They were all in Providence. I didn't see them white people. I saw them every 3-4 years.
Okay.
But I will say this, Michelle. No marshmallows on your yams. I kind of invalidated the list.
All right. So hold on, Claudia. I'm gonna test you out right here. What type of smoked meat, or what are acceptable types of smoked meat to put in the collard greens?
Turkey necks.
Oh.
Don't do me. Don't you do me. Don't try it.
And with that being said, y'all, we got to take us.
We gotta go on to this commercial.
Okay. Now that's it. I don't want to do nothing else from your ass.
Fucking, you are a nut.
Keep it locked, because coming up, Pardi addresses the real Megan Thee Stallion in a recent diss track. And later, we are playing a fun game of hit or miss. Keep it locked. Funky tried it. He tried it.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
TGIF.
Jason Derulo is speaking out against sexual harassment claims.
Sit here before you deeply offended.
Live and interactive.
I agree with Miss Hollywood in the chat. She says he's reading a teleprompter.
Listen, I know bad acting when I see it because I've done it. I'm deeply offended.
I'm going to give you an Angela Bassett deeply offended. And I'm deeply offended.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on, Oscar.
And I'm deeply offended.
Guilty.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to TGIF. Yo, this is a fun show, and the cellmates are having a good time. They are all in the chat, like just going in on every single segment. And also ham hocks. I know. All right, y'all. The tea is brewing hot between Megan Thee Stallion and her ex-bae, Pardi, aka Partisan Fontaine. Now, 2 weeks after Megan dropped some bombshells about her relationship in Cobra, Pardi decided to release some of his tea of his own in a newly released single, The Person. Pardi wrote, "Be for real. You ain't even realistic. Get lipo, then you started posting gym pics. The things that you're doing is sadistic. Spent 4 hours doing glam, not a blemish, but your foundation is off. You need to fix it. Clean up your spirit and not just your image." What are your thoughts on this clapback? You made a whole song from her one line about him. Al, what do you think?
Listen, I still got to get used to these new age men clapping back like this to women. I'm just not used to that. So that part feels awkward. But listen, he has a right to clap back. She started it, right? She wrote a song and she dissed him, and he's answering to respond to it. And he probably, the same way that women need to go to music to get whatever they got on their chest off, I think we need to allow the same space for men to use their music to get whatever is on their chest off. I don't think that we can say that it's okay for women to do it and it's not okay for men. And in this case, he just let it all out. He said he didn't like all the dudes that she was having sex with. He didn't like the fact that she was portraying an image that wasn't true. The same way that she said that she didn't like the fact that he was sleeping in her bed with another woman. So here's what it comes to. This is the impasse, and this is what you create when you have these types of talents and where they are these days.
Hugh, what do you think?
All is fair in love and war. And let me tell you something. I'd rather this than him shooting her in the foot. I'd rather this than him beating her. I'd rather this than him stalking her. I'd rather this than him going in public on interviews, calling her all types of bitches and hoes. And the thing, today's show has been brought to you by Pay Me for My Pain. If they both been through it, you might as well make a song about it and get paid for it. To Al's point, she started it. If she did it, he's able to do it too. And in my opinion, this is healthy. To me, at least they're both getting something out of it. Cha-ching, which is a paycheck, versus just sitting on the internet, going off on each other on live. I think it's creative. I think it's art. And pour your pain into your art and get paid for it.
So I agree that, you know, she made one bar in a song that you can interpret it as she was talking about Pardi. She never said his name, but okay, we're not done. All right, it was most likely Pardi she's talking about. One line in her song where the whole theme was about depression, about people in her circle turning on her and throwing her under the bus, not being there for her. If there was some infidelity, which they may have been on her side, may have been on his side, may have been on both their sides, I'm cool with him addressing that. I like that he said, not in your bed, okay, maybe it wasn't your bed, maybe it was in his bed. But what I didn't like was you put, like, when you're in a relationship with someone, like when you're with a best friend with someone, right? And then y'all fall out and then you give up all the stuff you gave when that was secret between us in our relationship. I think that's effed up. I don't like that part. You don't got to talk about her liposuction. I'm sure she could talk about your things about you. She only said that one line. He made a whole song.
Don't matter. Production, get ready to press. Hold on. Get ready to press.
Y'all ain't about to gang up on me.
No, we're not ganging up. Before we go to break, I'm just going to add a second line to your repertoire. Production, get ready to press the beat. You can't do wrong to a motherfucker and tell them how mad to get. Yeah. You keep talking about he did one line and he did a whole song.
She even say his name funky.
No, it don't matter. You can't do wrong to a motherfucker then tell them how mad to get. Now go to break. We need to go to break.
I can give my break. I can give my opinion. That's what this show is about.
Can we come back from break?
We can too, we're gonna put a pin. They jumping for this man. Let me put a pin on this. A rich man's getting in the news. We can't have that. We're gonna take a break and come back. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it. We'll be right back. And we're gonna play a fashionable game of hit or miss if we have time. We'll be back.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
What do you think the most bougie state in the United States is?
Is it black bougie or white bougie? There's a difference.
McMillan and Mara.
I'm not black bougie. I'm China bougie.
You're just bougie.
I'm just too poor.
Every Thursday.
Listen, if I had more money, I would be so bougie.
You black bougie adjacent. All your friends are black bougie.
Exactly.
On Fox Soul.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm living vicariously through them.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect.
Welcome back. Real quick, before we went to break, we were fussing about the whole Pardi versus Megan thing. What do y'all want to say?
No, we said what we said.
It was you that had a problem.
No, my thing is, I think that would you like someone that you was in a relationship, but they said one thing about, man, his feet was really ashy or whatever, or said something about you, or maybe it wasn't the feet, it was one thing about you that you're like, okay, and then they make their response.
It's a whole song. Yeah.
It's a whole song. I think that's a bit uneven.
She should have, it's disproportionate, but she should have kept her mouth closed. Again, you don't get to do wrong to a motherfucker and tell them how mad to get. You hit me with a rock, I hit you back with a boulder. You shouldn't have hit me with the rock.
I don't agree with that. I don't, because in Love and War,
she should have kept her mouth closed.
Her song was about her experiencing all the.
Okay, you two, we got the rest of the show to get through. Let's go. We got a game. Let's do the game.
We good. We got 4 minutes. In honor of GQ's Man of the Year party, it's only right that we play a fun game of hit or miss. All right, cue the music. First, we have Kim Kardashian. Was she a hit or a miss?
I'm going to go ahead and give her a hit. And we've been doing her on the last couple of award situations. There's something going on with her where she's doing a less is more style. She's just doing a simple dress with a simple silhouette on her nice body. Nothing to write home about, but I think it's a hit.
I'm gonna give the outfit a hit, but I'm gonna give her a miss for wearing the outfit. She's given a very Pocahontas, which I know is in theme now. But for Kim, I always expect more. I expect different, and I expect her to lead the trend. And this is her following instead of leading.
Definitely a miss. I don't like it. She's way prettier than this, and she always looks. It's not looking polished. I don't like it. All right, we have Megan Thee Stallion. Hit or miss?
Oh, definitely a hit. That new body that she bought on Pardi, a song that he talked about.
Oh, now you like her.
Baby, she deserved every dime of her money she spent. She spent it in the right places because mama looks good.
Just because you getting plastic surgery, we ain't gonna about to believe Pardi's excuses. I don't believe she got plastic surgery. I'm giving her a hit. What you think, Al?
I'm definitely giving her a hit, and you could tell that surgery is settling in well. The way her tits are sitting up there nice and firm, her body's snatched. And I love how she pulled her hair off of her neck to show it all off. This is definitely a hit.
That body is not fake. Okay, what about Mario? Was he a hit or a miss, Mario?
Mario for me is always going to be a hit on the carpet. I like the way he pushes the sexy. I like how he added a little bit of a faux fur and a leather here. I just always think he knows exactly how to do what he's supposed to do when we talk about make ladies go ah, and he did it here. I say definitely a hit, and this is GQ, which is supposed to be sexy men, so definitely a hit.
You?
I mean, you know what? I'm going to say a miss for me. Because Mario is so fine and got so much body, I would have preferred maybe a sheer wife beater or maybe just nothing and some high jewelry. I think he's too covered up in something too Andre Leon Talley for him to be that fine.
I think he looks good. It's kind of giving a safari vibe though, but with vocals. All right, next we have Travis Scott. Hit or miss?
You know, I always say men's fashion is boring. We don't have much to choose from. I'm just going to go ahead and give him an arbitrary hit.
Al?
Well, you know, this is his look. He always wears clothes that's a little bit larger. We know that this suit is definitely in style. I'm trying to remember if it's Prada or who it is. It's a miss for me only because I like my suits fitted on young black men. So I'm going to give him a miss on this one.
Miss, it looks like it doesn't fit. I don't like how it does this fit. Aoki Lee Simmons, hit or miss?
A hit, simply because we haven't seen her. I love that she's growing up. She's covered, but not. I like it.
I'm a pass on this. I'm gonna say a miss. Don't know what she was going for. Not sure if it made her look her best as far as shape-wise. So definitely a miss for me.
I'm gonna give it a miss. I know she's beautiful. All right, we only have 40 seconds. Let's see. YG, hit or miss? YG.
I'm going to give him an arbitrary hit. Men, our fashion is boring. He's got on the suit.
I give him a hit as well, Al.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a hit.
All right, we didn't get to everybody, but we will do this again real soon, and that was fun. Thank you to my co-host, Al Reynolds, and Funky Dineva for joining me tonight. Stay tuned, and also watch us on YouTube. Stay tuned for Fox Soul Face Off. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and make sure you go in the comments and watch how damn shady we were this entire show. I'm about to call Paula Jai Parker up and see if I can make it right with her Q.
That's your business. That's between you and gingivitis. Bye.
Leave her alone.
Have a good night, though, babe.